welcome to Lilybug's Library. My name's Linda. So I've got a Kindle book haul today, mostly Kindle. Just a few things. I had got a bonus from work, so spent a little bit of it on books. So just a few things that I bought physically and over the past, I don't know, month or two, and then some that I put on my Kindle. So we'll go over the Kindle ones first. All right, so the first one was called Hearts and Hope. Hearts and Hope? Hearts? Yeah, Hearts and Hope. Sorry, that was so tiny I couldn't see it. And it's actually six full-length novels. So it's all kinds of like romance stories and, like sweet closed-door romance and happy endings and, all those sort of things. Just a little tiny blurb on each one. Book one is called Just a Cowboy's Best Friend, and it says, will one house sitting assignment bring these two best friends together, or will it ruin their friendship forever? And then book two is called Sold in the Show Me State. And it says, can they put the past behind them? Excuse me, I can feel the sneeze coming on. Okay, I think we're okay. Can they put the past behind them and step into a bright new future together? And book three is called Precious Memories. Will they decide providing precious memories to the hundreds of customers in the little old shop is enough to build a future on? The fourth one is called Cowboy Whispering My Name. And it says, Katie and Flynn have been best friends back in the day. How could he not help her out, even if it means a lifetime commitment? And maybe if she remembers that she can trust him and depend on him, what they have could grow into more. And then book five is called Faith in the Hero. Six kids yearning to be loved, an auction barn, a small herd of dairy goats, and a cozy town full of kind-hearted family and friends who have faith that with enough cake, kisses, and Christmas, there is a happily ever after in the chaos. And then the last one is called A Secret Baby in the Show Me State. And it says, after what she'd done, love was impossible, or was it? So I don't know, they all sound pretty good. And I like, these were ones, I didn't spend a ton of money on them. Like that was probably 99 cents or $1 something. And, six full length books for that price. I think that's pretty good. The next one is called The Witch's Tree, and I love the cover. It's so pretty. It says, as a love affair comes to an end, and with it her dreams for the future, artist Selena needs a retreat. The picture postcard Slow Cottage in the Somerset village of Ashcombe promises to be the perfect place to forget her problems, and Selena settles into her new home as spring arrives. But it isn't long before Selena hears the past whispering to her. Slow Cottage is keeping secrets which refuse to stay hidden. And then it goes from there back in the past, and it says 1682. Grace Cotter longs for nothing more than a husband and family of her own, content enough with her work on the farm, looking after her father and learning the secrets of her grandmother Bet's healing hands. Nevertheless, Grace still hopes for love. But these are dangerous times for dreamers and rumors, and gossip can be deadly. One mismove, and Grace's fate looks set. It says, separated by 300 years, two women are drawn together by a home bathed in blood and magic. Grace Cotter's spirit needs to rest, and only Selena can help her now. So, yeah, sounds like it could be good. And then it's by Elena Collins, but it's the author's actual name is Judy Lee, and I know some of you have probably read some of her books. So, anyway, sounds really good. The next one is called Ground It. And it says, as the music played, she knew one thing: somebody was marked for death. Penny Nichols is an 18-year-old girl with the gift of seeing terrible omens. It has kept her from making friends. She doesn't want the pain of being responsible for their demise. Always running from the raven, she finds herself in the great Northwest. When does a paranormal gift become a curse? The moment she sees her boss's death in a cup of coffee. Janice may only have 24 hours left. 4 hours away, over the internet, she makes a friend. A podcaster, TC, who isn't afraid of Penny's ability, encourages her to solve the case and save her boss, but will they unravel the lyrical clues in time? So that one sounds really good too. And the next one is The Birth of the Black Orchids. Excuse me, my voice is really dry today. Actually, I guess it's my throat that's dry, not my voice, but you know what I mean. Um, Beauchamp, Texas, J.D. Thompson has had his fill of stuffy legal offices, escaping corporate law to go all in with friends operating out of a Victorian mansion. The socially in tune attorney prays that he can pay off his student debt while serving the greater good. Working alongside his accountant ex and his cat vet college pal, his biggest fear is paying the bills until one of the guests keels over from eating incorrectly labeled peanut butter laden pantry food. Uh oh. All right, and then the next one, I was tempted to buy the physical copy because it's something that if I like it, I want the physical copies because the covers are so pretty. But I started with the Kindle one. I figured I'd check the first one and see if I actually like it, and then if I do, I might buy the rest or buy all of them as a box set or something. So it's called The Selection, which I believe I had on the 24 series to start in 2024. So it's the first book in the captivating New York Times bestseller Selection series. Discover a breathless fairy tale romance with swoon-worthy characters, glittering gowns, fierce intrigue, and a dystopian world that will captivate readers. For 35 girls, The Selection is a chance of a lifetime. The opportunity to escape a rigid caste system, live in a palace, and compete for the heart of gorgeous Prince Maxim. But for American Singer, being selected is a nightmare. It means turning her back on her secret love with Aspen, who is a caste below her and competing for a crown she doesn't want. So that sounds really good too. So the next one was another bundle, another 8 novels, and it doesn't say much about them, but it's called The Cozy Witch Mysteries. And it's a small town with big secrets, a neighbor who bites, plus a house with a mind of its own. Welcome to Wisteria. So that sounds good. The next one is Assault with a Deadly Glue Gun. Says when Anastasia Pollock's husband permanently cashes in his chips at a roulette table in Vegas, her comfortable middle class life in New Jersey craps out. She's left with 2 teenage sons, a mountain of debt, and her hateful cane wielding communist mother in law. Not to mention stunned disbelief over her late husband's secret gambling addiction and the loan shark who's demanding $50,000. Anastasia's job as a crafts editor at American Women magazine proves no respite when she discovers a dead body glued to her desk chair. Okay, I know you shouldn't laugh over a dead body, but that's an interesting thing to have happen. The victim, fashion editor Marlies Vanderberg, collected enemies and ex-lovers like Jimmy Choo like Jimmy Choo's on her ruthless climb to editor-in-chief. But when evidence surfaces of an illegal affair between Marlies and Anastasia's husband, Anastasia becomes the prime suspect. Now she's in a race to find the killer, not only to clear her name, but before he strikes again. All right, I didn't realize how many I'd bought. But anyway, we'll keep going. The next one is 3 together, and it's the Edinburgh murders. And so one is called Near Miss, which is about being nearly hit by a car. And one is called High Hand, which is when a man gets killed at a shooting party on a Scottish country estate. And the last one is Last Train for Murder. So, an investigative journalist who makes a career out of sticking it to the man dies on a train to Edinburgh having been poisoned. So, that one sounds interesting as well. And then we have The Magic of Sea Glass. And it says, at the loss of her fiance a year ago, event planner Lauren Sutton can't seem to go on with her choice of career or the life she's built with her fiance any longer. Floundering emotionally, she makes a snap decision to sell her half of the business and spend the summer among the sand dunes and changing tides of the Outer Banks, taking care of an old inn in Rodantha, North Carolina, with its elderly owner, Mary Everett. Perhaps the salty breezes of the Atlantic and the warmth of summer sun on her face will help her find her direction. What she doesn't expect is to find a story hidden away in a string of sea glass that will change her life forever. That too sounds good. And let me see, is this the last one? No, we got a couple more. I'll do them quickly here. So we have The Brilliant Life of Eudora Honeysett. It says, Eudora Honeysett is done with this noisy, moronic world, all of it. She has witnessed the indignities and suffering of old age and has lived a full life. At 85, she isn't going to leave things to chance. Her end will be on her terms. With one call to a clinic in Switzerland, a plan is set in motion. Then she meets 10-year-old Rose DeWidney, a whirling pint-sized rainbow of sparkling cheer. All Dora wants is to be left alone to set her affairs in order. Instead, she finds herself embarking on a series of adventures with the irrepressible Rose and her affable neighbor, the recently widowed Stanley. Afternoon tea, shopping sprees, trips to the beach, birthday celebrations, pizza parties. And then it says, now that her joy of life has been rekindled, how can she possibly say goodbye? So that one kind of gives me vibes of a man called Uwe or a man called Otto, depending on where you're at. So yeah, that I think that one will be cute. Um, Two more. One is The Keeper of Stars. And again, I love this cover. It's so pretty. It says 1962, 12 years removed from the summer when she first gave her heart away, Dr. Ellie Spencer, professor of astronomy at Indiana University, receives a mysterious package that has her asking that very question. Inside the unmarked box is a novel written by Ellie's first love, Jack Bennett. It tells the story of a young man and woman who meet at the water's edge and fall madly in love, only to have their romance cut short by forces beyond their control. Ellie quickly realizes this is no ordinary story, this is their story. Captivated by Jack's words, she immerses herself in the pages, reliving the adventures they shared that magical summer. To her astonishment, hidden among the tales of stargazing and stolen kisses is a detail that has her questioning everything. Seeking answers, Ellie turns to her sister for help, but before they can get to the bottom of the mystery, news reaches them of their aunt's death, sending Ellie back to the water's edge with the hope of finding the truth and rewriting the stars. So I think that'll be really sweet. And the last one is Plum Island, and this has a lot in the series. This is just the first one. It says Carolina Shaw's life unravels and reblooms on the quaint shores of Plum Island, New England. After the loss of her father and the end of her 15-year marriage after her husband's cheating, Carolyn and her 14-year-old daughter, Jules, seek a fresh start. Destroyed and in pieces, she knows she can make it through and get her life back on track. Amid financial struggles and a fraying mother-daughter relationship, Carolyn finds solace in writing mystery novels and focusing on her dreams. So, anyway, they all sound really good, and like I said, I am happy that I didn't pay a fortune for any of them. I don't think. Not sure. There's one I think in there that was maybe a little more, but most of them were fine. So anyway, excited about all of those. I did pick up a couple of other ones. One I was one I was super excited about because we have Chapters here, which is similar to Barnes and Noble in the U.S., and we can earn points. So and use gift cards and all of those things. So I ended up finding a gift card kind of tucked away that it's like I knew I had spent money off of it, but I wasn't sure I had spent it all, and I figured I hadn't, or I would have thrown away the gift card. So when I looked, I did still have some money on it. So I used that, and I used my Plum points, and I ended up getting a book for like $4. And this one's called For Love or Money by Sophie Ryan. So very cute cover. And it says secondhand store owner Sarah Grayson and her rescue cat Elvis sniff out the suspect in this new delightful second chance cat mystery from the New York Times bestselling author Sophie Ryan. It says Sarah Grayson is taking a break from her bustling secondhand shop in small town Maine to spend time with a friend and her dog, but their perfect visit comes to an end when the dog leads them to a storm cellar of a nearby property where they discover a dead body. So that one sounds good. And then the other one I've been looking forward to ever since I heard it was coming out because I really like this author. And just give me a second here. I was trying to get the price tag off. And I hate when they put the price tag on the front. It's like, can't they just stick it on the back so it doesn't ruin the cover? Anyway, can't get it off. But it's Kate Quinn and Janie Chang, and it's The Phoenix Crown. So that one looks really good, and I love Kate Quinn. I'd read anything she wrote. She's definitely an auto-buy author for me. So it doesn't, it's got reviews on the back. Here we go. So it says, San Francisco, 1906. In a city bustling with newly minted millionaires and scheming upstarts, two very different women hope to change their futures. Gemma, a golden-haired, silver-voiced soprano whose career desperately needs rekindling, and Su Ling, a petite and resolute Chinatown embroideress, who is determined to escape an arranged marriage. Their paths cross when they are drawn into the orbit of Henry Thornton, a charming railroad magnate whose extraordinary collection of Chinese antiques includes the fabled Phoenix Crown, a legendary relic of Beijing's fallen summer palace. So, and then I think they go on to try and get that crown. So that one sounds really good. And at some point, I've never, I mean, other than something from Jane Austen years ago, I don't read Regency romances, but I've been kind of collecting them. And at some point, there will be a month where I will try reading some. So this one was downstairs in the bookshelves. So it was, free for the taking. And it's called Aphrodite and the Duke. And that one looks like it could be good. And it says, second chances are even sweeter. Aphrodite de Belle has always resented her name, while the members of the Ton, and even the queen herself, praise her warm brown skin, perfect curls, and exquisite features. Aphrodite can't help but think that living up to the literal goddess of beauty is asking a bit much. Her renowned loveliness certainly didn't stop the love of her life from jilting her and marrying another woman 4 years ago. When Aphrodite's formidable mother summons her back to London to aid in her sister's debut, she has no choice but to acquiesce. But Aphrodite is determined to ignore one man in particular, Evander Eagleman, the Duke of Everley, the man who devastated her all those years ago. Yet why does her guileless heart still flutter at the sight of him? So that one sounds really good too. So that was some of my book haul that I did. So there's and now of course I've got all these books on my Kindle, and I'm not so sure the Kindle's gonna make it. It's very old, and when I got up this morning and went to turn it on, it didn't turn on. So I've got it plugged in charging, and we'll see. Fingers crossed, I don't have to buy a new one, but it's not looking good at this point. Not sure how many years I've had it, but it's been a while. Yeah, definitely. So, and I've been using it a lot. So, yeah, who knows? So I also have a little bit of personal news. So sadly, our other cat, Sebastian, who I know you haven't really seen much of, just a peek here and there, sadly, he passed away on the weekend, on Friday. He had a brain tumor, and he just kept getting worse and worse. So it's been a sad few days for us here. With Oliver gone, and now with Sebastian gone, it's been hard. So we're still dealing with all that, and the house feels very empty without a pet. Um, we've had them for a long time. I mean, I got them both as kittens, and Sebastian was 14 and Oliver was 11. So yeah, it's a long time to have a pet around, and you realize you rearrange your whole life, for your pet. You keep certain doors closed so they don't get into things. You leave other ones open so they can take a nap. You've got toys everywhere. It's quite an adjustment. But anyway, I thought I'd let you know. Um, Otherwise, it's a cold but kind of maybe sunny day. We'll see. And nothing much going on. My dear mother-in-law is coming to visit for a little bit, and I'll be happy to see her. And that's about it for today. So I hope you guys have a great day. I'll be back in sometime in the next few days to talk about what we're doing for April and to give you a wrap up on March. All right, talk to you soon. Bye bye.